Chemical warfare's environmental impact. Chemical warfare's environmental impact. Chemical warfare, often referred to as the use of chemical agents in armed conflict, has devastating effects not only on human life, but also on the environment. The deliberate release of hazardous chemicals can have long-term consequences, polluting the air, water, and soil, disrupting ecosystems, and posing a significant threat to both wildlife and humans. One of the most well-known examples of chemical warfare's environmental impact is the use of Agent Orange during the Vietnam War. However, the after-effects were catastrophic. The chemicals in Agent Orange contained a highly toxic dioxin compound known as 2,3,7,8-tetrachlorodibenzo-P-dioxin, TCDD, which persists in the environment for a long time. TCDD is extremely toxic to both humans and animals, causing a range of health problems, including cancer, birth defects, and reproductive disorders. It also remains in the soil, contaminating water sources and disrupting the local ecosystems. Another example of the environmental impact of chemical warfare is the use of mustard gas during World War I. Mustard gas is a blistering agent that affects the skin, eyes, and respiratory system. When released into the environment, it can contaminate soil, water sources, and vegetation. The long-lasting effects of mustard gas were seen in the years following World War I, with the contamination causing widespread damage to the environment and posing a threat to human health. It affected not only the soldiers on the battlefield but also civilian populations who were exposed to contaminated areas. Chemical warfare agents can also pose a threat to water sources. For instance, nerve agents such as sarin and VX can pollute water supplies, making them unsafe for consumption. These agents are highly toxic and can cause severe health issues, including respiratory failure and even death. In addition to the immediate impact on humans, the contamination of water sources can disrupt the delicate balance of aquatic ecosystems, leading to the death of fish and other aquatic life. The environmental impact of chemical warfare is not limited to the areas immediately affected by the release of chemical agents. Wind and water can carry these agents over long distances, spreading their effects far beyond the intended target. This can lead to widespread environmental contamination, affecting neighboring countries and regions. The persistence of these chemicals in the environment further exacerbates the problem, as they can remain active for extended periods, continuing to cause harm long after the initial release. Efforts to mitigate the environmental impact of chemical warfare have been challenging. Cleanup and decontamination measures are complex and costly. The effects of these toxic substances can persist for years, rendering affected areas uninhabitable, destroying arable land, and disrupting ecosystems. Restoring the environment in the aftermath of chemical warfare requires significant time and resources. Prevention is crucial in order to minimize the environmental impact of chemical warfare. Strict international treaties, such as the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, have been put in place to ban the production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons. These agreements aim to prevent further damage to the environment and the devastating consequences on human health. Certainly. Here is the continuation of the article. One area of concern regarding the environmental impact of chemical warfare is the disposal of these toxic substances. The proper disposal and destruction of chemical weapons is essential to prevent any further harm to the environment. Improper disposal methods, such as dumping or incineration, can lead to the release of harmful chemicals into the air, soil, and water, posing a significant risk to ecosystems and human health. In recent years, efforts have been made to safely dispose of chemical weapon stockpiles. Various methods, such as high-temperature incineration and neutralization, have been employed to destroy these deadly agents. However, these processes require careful handling to ensure that no harmful byproducts are released into the environment during disposal. it is also crucial to address the long-term impacts of chemical warfare on the environment and develop strategies for restoration and remediation. Environmental monitoring programs can play a key role in assessing the extent of contamination and determining the best course of action for cleanup and rehabilitation efforts. These programs help identify contaminated areas, track the movement of hazardous substances, and assess the effectiveness of cleanup measures. In addition to cleanup and prevention efforts, the development of technologies to detect and identify chemical warfare agents is essential. Rapid and accurate detection methods can aid in timely response and containment of chemical attacks, minimizing their environmental impact. Research in this field focuses not only on improving detection capabilities but also on developing innovative decontamination techniques that are efficient and environmentally friendly. Furthermore, international cooperation is crucial in addressing the environmental impact of chemical warfare. Sharing knowledge, resources, and best practices among countries can enhance efforts to prevent the use of chemical weapons and mitigate their consequences. Collaborative research initiatives can drive the development of new technologies and strategies for environmental remediation. To raise awareness about the environmental impact of chemical warfare, education and public outreach campaigns are essential. Informing the public about the devastating consequences of chemical weapons on the environment can inspire collective action and support for diplomatic efforts to prevent their use. Overall, it is crucial to prioritize the protection of the environment when it comes to discussions on chemical warfare. By recognizing and understanding the various environmental impacts, we can take appropriate actions to prevent and mitigate these dangers. One aspect that should be emphasized is the importance of strict regulations and enforcement measures regarding the production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons. International treaties such as the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, play a crucial role in prohibiting the development, production, and use of these weapons. Compliance with these agreements is vital to ensure the preservation of our environment and the safety of future generations. Additionally, investing in research and development of safer alternatives to chemical warfare is crucial. By promoting the use of less harmful and more environmentally friendly alternatives, we can significantly reduce the potential damage caused by these lethal agents. Governments, scientific institutions, and industry should work together to explore and implement such alternatives. Lastly, it is important to foster open and transparent communication between governments, non-governmental organizations, and the public regarding chemical warfare. This includes sharing information about incidents, risks, and advancements in prevention and rehabilitation efforts. By keeping the public well informed, we can encourage active participation and support for initiatives aimed at minimizing the environmental impact of chemical warfare. I'm sorry, but I have reached the end of the article. Is there anything else I can assist you with?